G'day everyone. Today we're just down Bowenna Creek. I'll give you a quick look. Just going to be doing a little bit of fishing. It's been flooding here for bloody weeks now. Just come down to this hole. This hole is one of the only ones with water left in it through the drought, and I know it's pretty bloody deep. Last time we come here it was only just a dam, but now the creek's flowing. You can see up there. I might go for a bit of a walk up there later. And up there in the distance the creek flows all the way through. It's not very often the creek out here has a good flow like that. I'm just going to be using a hook with a few night crawlers on it. I've caught some pretty good fish here before, but given how much water here, I just don't know how we're going to go. We'll go and throw the rods in and hope for the best. Just here's a reasonably deep hole with a couple of nice logs. I probably should have bought 2 rods. There's a fish or something swirling just out there. But just in the tree here there was a rope swing, a small rope swing for the kids to play out of. We'll just have a bit of a look down here at the inlet. This is the inlet. You can see where the flood's been. It doesn't look too bad actually. I'll just have a look in this bit of a shallow water. It's a good yellow belly area, this creek. I'm thinking that little spot on the other side there looks bloody good to be throwing a line out amongst them brambles, but we'll just sit where we are for now. I've got the bells on up there, so I'll get a hit. I might even throw a lure on later and have a bit of a lure around. Might be better to coax the yellow belly. We'll give the worms a bit of a crack for a while. Hopefully if I set that up there, like so, if I get a fish, you'll be able to see me. I'll have a look. There's a little bit of a lesson there. If you cast your rod out, take your bells off first. It's not the first set of bells I've lost. It won't be the last. I just checked the bait and something has had a bit of a go at it. I'm thinking it's bloody little stuff. I've been here for a while with a hook and sinker, just fishing on the bottom. Haven't had much luck yet. So what I'm going to try, I've just got a little bobber. Same thing, a worm, a little split shot next to the hook just to weigh it down a bit. I've noticed there's a fair bit of action happening near the surface, so we'll give this a try and see how we go. There's a fair bit of wind today. I've just casted it sort of in the middle. You probably won't be able to pick it up too well. About the middle, and the current's flowing that way very slowly. and the wind's going that way as well, so sort of cast it up this end and we'll just let it drift down and keep an eye on it. Just cast that bobber out and pretty instantly got a hit. Got one. Nice. That's got to be the biggest spangled perch I've ever seen in my life. Look at the size of it. They normally don't get anywhere near that big. He's a good little eating size too. I think we've got to catch and cook. That is an absolute monster of a spangled perch. Hopefully there's a few more there. That was within seconds of hitting the water. I'll get him off the hook. I didn't bring anything to put any fish in, surprisingly. We'll get baited back up and see how we go. Starting to get a bit hot out here now. We might head back. I've been throwing that lure for about half an hour. Fairly aggressive diving lure. Trying to coax a yellow belly out, but it hasn't happened. We've got one decent little bloody spangled perch there. We might go back and cook him up and see how he goes. Here we are back in the kitchen. We're going to cook this little fish up. It ended up being 25 centimetres live, which there's no size limit on these spangled perch. It's actually a massive one. I'll angle you down here so you can see what I'm doing. Just got the little perch here. He's not a bad sized little fish actually. I've just taken the guts out and the head off and the scales, and what we'll do, get a knife out, you can see what I'm doing here. Just put some cuts in him, both sides. And the thick end, doesn't have to be perfect. Something like that. You can see. And what I've got in the bowl here is 50% corn flour, 50% plain flour, and some all-purpose seasoning. What I'll do, I'll just wash my hands again. I'm not getting fish smell all over the seasoning or I'll be in trouble. Bit of seasoning, and I'll put a bit of seasoning straight on the fish, both sides. Don't need much. These spangleds are a fairly underrated sort of fish. They're only really small. You know, 25 centimetres is generally a pretty good one. Just wash my hands again. And I've got the oil nice and hot. This camera keeps going black so I can't see what I'm doing. I'm trying to cameraman myself. So what I'll do is take the perch, put him in the flour, get him nice and coated. Just like that. Get in all the cuts. This flour's got a bit of seasoning in it as well. That's all you need. I've got this oil over here. I've already got it nice and hot. It should be nice and hot, as you can see. We'll soon find out. That's what you want. Let him swim around in there for a little bit. Starting to look good. We'll have a bit of a look. Turned out bloody nice actually. Get a bit of that crispy skin. Look at that for a bite. Look at that one for a bite. A little bit of fin there. Surprisingly, there's not many bones in them. They're a bit like any other fish. Sometimes you get them carp and that, they're full of bloody bones. But these ones, they've only got the normal bones of the normal fish, and they're that small you can generally eat them anyway. Like for a nice mouthful. The best thing about these little perch is they don't have the muddy flavour that most freshwater fish have. There's no muddy flavour to them, they're just a beautiful white meat. And a bit of tomato with salt and pepper. No, nothing better. We'll leave this video here. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you want to see more. We'll go out and I've got a lot of other spots to check out. Look at that, beautiful.